All right, welcome everybody. Exciting morning for us at RPH Ally because we have another CE partner with the University of Illinois, Chicago. And I have Doctors Dima and Chirag with us today, and we're going to dive into their new program that every pharmacist should get in touch with and take. So we'll be right back after the reel. I know Chirag loves that music, so welcome. We were just talking about being nerdy pharmacists. So welcome, Dima. Welcome, Chirag. Tell us started. Who wants to go first?
I can start. I can give a little background on detailing and how it got started at UIC.
I love it. I love it, Chirag. And give a little background on how both you got there, how you within that role, and then how you started with the program. We'd love to hear that. Just kind of your personal journey too in pharmacy. That's always awesome.
I can go way back. I can tell you about the day I was born if you'd like. I've been at UIC for almost 11 years. We didn't start off doing academic detailing. I started off doing prior authorization. But back in 2018, one of a department that we're not connected with, our research department at UIC, got a CDC grant to do academic detailing focused on a local hospital institution in Illinois. Focused on about 151 prescribers, and they used pharmacy students, and they got some pretty good successes from that initial study. They looked at if academic detailing impacted prescribing habits with prescribers. And what they found was that academic detailing, and we'll talk about what academic detailing is in a moment, it actually impacted prescribers by reducing one opioid prescription per month per prescriber. And if you expand that out from the 151 prescribers, you're looking at about over 1,500 prescriptions per month. So from the successes of that, their grant got extended, and then our team of pharmacists got involved, and we focused in the southern part of the state of Illinois. And then from that, in August of 2019, there was a public act that was passed in the state of Illinois that established an educational institution like this to be able to do academic detailing statewide. So it's been about maybe 5 years or so that UIC got involved in academic detailing. Started with a research group in a small, relatively small institution, and then has expanded to statewide, and now, as Dima will talk about later, sort of national academic detailing approach as well.
That's awesome. I love the education piece, because you have now proven that the prescribers aren't always aware of the best methods to prescribe, right? And it's that education helped, and then you were able to grow that, and you've continued to grow that nationally. So that's amazing, because it's kind of I'm not going to try to compare apples to oranges here, but I remember having to do what they call doctor detailing when I was back working for the Change, which I thought was the biggest complete waste of time, because it was kind of receptive. Some of the providers' offices would be like, "Oh, cool, the pharmacist had never stopped in here before," But this is more targeted to a specific therapy and specific education, which I think is fascinating. So awesome. All right, Dima, let us know about the rest of the story on that.
Yeah, so, Chirag kind of touched on it a little bit. We use academic detailing, which is a one-to-one interactive approach to providing this content. And one thing that we are doing right now that is considered nationwide is that first of all, it started with the FDA determining that a REMS program for opioid analgesics is actually necessary to ensure that there is a benefit to being on an opioid compared to the risks. So versus the risks. So back in September of 2018, in order to address the ongoing opioid epidemic, the FDA REMS committee approved the opioid analgesics program, REMS program. This is just one of the other efforts put forth in order to address the opioid epidemic. We know and heard of just last week naloxone, Narcan being approved for OTC use. So hopefully we'll see that on the shelves soon. So that just goes to show you that there is work being done to address the opioid crisis. With that, the University of Illinois Chicago College of Pharmacy received a grant from the FDA REMS committee in order to provide continuing education on the safe use of opioids. So we're doing a nationwide outreach. So whether that's via social media, we do it in person if we're in Illinois, and even through personal connections as well. And we do these visits, can be done one-on-one, typically virtually, and we use academic detailing. So again, it's that one-on-one interaction. The content that we provide, it's unbiased, it's evidence-based, it's up to date. We're constantly updating our brochures. It's a very unique and interactive way. And most importantly, I think it's just a way to tailor the content to the healthcare provider. So healthcare providers, that goes, pharmacists, nurses, prescribers, PAs, nurse practitioners. So they'll obtain half credit when they do these visits. So with these visits, we are tailoring the content to them. So based on their scope of practice and their, practice setting. So it's not just us providing the content. We're also trying to gather insight from the learner, so from the healthcare provider. So, based on where they're practicing, how can the content I have in my brochure, how can I make that relevant to you and your patients? How can I help you help your patients? So we're also trying to address any potential barriers that they might have. And that's, a way that we're tailoring the conversation to them. What is relevant to them? What's relevant to their patients? If they don't have any barriers, I'd love to learn from how they're succeeding, what's working for them, so I can take it back to either my colleagues or share that amongst other healthcare providers as well. Kind of like, what's your secret? I'd love to share that wealth of knowledge. But yeah, it's a really great way to take 100-page guideline. The CDC came out with the guideline overview on opioids just last year. Updates from the 2016. I'm sure, based on the conversation we had, Sean, you're aware of how problematic those were. The 2022 guidelines came out with the updates, 12 recommendations, and we go over that in probably what I would recommend the first brochure to have a visit with. So it's really a great way to take a 100-page guideline, condense it into a 15 to 20-minute visit, and you also get CE credit for it, which I think it's a great way to learn. It's unique, it's different. Yeah.
I can attest to that, Dima, because that was like one of the funnest CEs I've ever taken. It was short, sweet. I got to interact, got to talk. I got to hear the updated guidelines, which I did not have time to read. Right? I mean, they've been sitting there for like months now, and I'm like, I need to dive in. Hadn't been able to do that, but no, it was really, really exciting, really fun. And to what you said about tailoring it, right? Because like I had a lot of retail background, mail order background. So we dove into like how it mattered to me in that setting, which I thought was really great, and where you can kind of pivot like that depending on who you're speaking to in that session. So, I mean, I highly recommend it. It's amazing. And I think every retail pharmacist should even, get on a call with you to be able to learn about this in their setting. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're a team of 30 plus clinical pharmacists. So any one of us would be happy to do these visits. It's really, like you said, a great way. And I actually, from that visit you and I did, Sean, on the CDC guideline overview, I learned something from you that I took back to my colleagues, because it was about using the prescription drug monitoring program. Kind of noting in patient profiles what you saw. Maybe there's a red flag, so that the next pharmacist, maybe a floater pharmacist, can have a little bit of a background on it. So, I think we're both learning. It's really helpful. And it's a really short amount of time to earn a credit. And you can do multiple visits. It doesn't have to be just the one. You can do up to 3 in one setting and one visit to earn 1.5 CE credit.
That's amazing. Any is it always one-on-one, or are other group settings available if someone wants to bring a group in?
We've done both. Traditionally, academic detailing is one-on-one, but the reality is it's just hard sometimes to get individual connections with prescribers just from availability perspective. So we've done group stuff too. Virtual allows, a little bit more flexibility. So the goal is, the aim is one-on-one. It allows for the most tailored, personalized approach. But we have done groups, and we've done like group visits with medical residents just because they kind of function a little bit more as a unit, and some institutions as well. So we kind of bounce between both.
Okay, good deal. And how do they get in touch with you? How does someone sign up? How does someone find you to grab these CEs? And these more specifically, not these CEs, these conversations and these connections with you guys, because that's what it's really about. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's like you get to hop on a call with another colleague and learn about this, which is a fascinating. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you. So actually, I'm leading the social media team along with my colleague Tom. So we have several different social media networks. We're on LinkedIn, find us there. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and we just created an Instagram account. So we're getting that up and running as well. Look us up under Illinois Advance. You'll see us there. And I'm also happy to share the links as well.
Awesome. Or they can also find you an RPH ally in the CE Partners channel.
Too,
definitely. There you go.
Yes. Yep. Our links are all there. We're all there in the folder under CE Partners. That's right. Yeah, that's the best way to reach us.
Awesome. Anything else that you want to add that I might have missed before we sign off with you two?
Sean, you said two words that I don't think are really associated with education that I think really highlights where detailing is pretty unique. You said fun and exciting. And I think that that's like pretty cool to hear from an education perspective. I think, sometimes we think of education as like a drag or, just not fun. And you said fun and exciting. And that's two really
no. And I mean it, Chirag, because it was fun and exciting. And like, we were on the phone. I was on the phone with Dima, my session, and like normally CEs is checking the box. It's always been checking the box for me. Like, how much have I ever really learned from the CEs? I hope obviously the Board of Pharmacies are listening. I hope they're listening, because like some of the, anyways, it's not checking the box. That's it. But here it was different than checking the box. It was fun and exciting. And it was different. So
yeah, it's different. It's unique. It is fun and exciting, even for us as the doing the visit ourselves. It is fun and unique.
Yeah. And you guys get to meet a lot of different people. So that's also a lot of fun. And a team of 30, you have 30 pharmacists on there helping you? Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
All over, are they all over the country, or are they all based in Illinois?
They're based in Illinois.
Okay.
So yeah, 30 of us. Most of us are located in like Chicago, and then we have a couple outside of the city. And then we also have 3 technicians who just sort of help manage a lot of the background stuff as well.
Awesome.
So a pretty wide team.
Awesome. So, I mean, you're also teaching us that there's other opportunities out there for pharmacists and technicians. So that's another valuable lesson here. So love it, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining. This has been fun. I highly recommend to every pharmacist to hop on here and check this program out. And it's fun and exciting. Different way of getting your CEs.
Thank you, Sean. And make sure to join RPH Ally as well. It's a great way to meet other pharmacists.
There you go, Dima. Checks in the mail. All right.
Thank you.
Yep, see you guys.